Last week we passed the Equality Act, and I gave a speech on the floor about Martin Luther King's admonition to us that we need to judge one another not by arbitrary distinctions, but on the way we were treated by others and the way others treated others. He called it content of character. Not an arbitrary distinction of color of skin or religion or gender or who we love. The Bible doesn't tell me to love my neighbor if they're Christian or if they're straight or if they're this, that, or the other. The Bible tells me to love my neighbor. Whoever my neighbor may be. And King added to that, the judgment you make is on how they treat others. Content of character. We have gone through a rough patch in this country. I know this is not a partisan meeting, but it should not miss any of us that the rise of white nationalism and the sense that it's okay to be hateful to others was demonstrated during the 2016 campaign, where it was okay to hit people if they didn't agree with you. And by the way, I'll pay your legal costs. What message do you think that sent in a country that says we hold these truths to be self-evident? I said on the floor, and I say this all the time, those truths may be self-evident, but they are not self-executing. It is up to us to ensure that those promises of equality in the eyes of God, because it was rights given to us by God, not by the Constitution, not by unalienable rights endowed by our Creator. Someone must say, well, you look a little different than I look. Why does God not think that's the case? Because God looks inside. And as Bill Clinton loved to say, we are 99.7% exactly the same. And we ought to treat one another that way. And it's so important that all of you are here. We have the most diverse caucus in the history of our country. And that is a strength, not a weakness. But it will be a weakness if we do not treat one another equally, fairly, justly, because it will eat at the fabric of our unity. And that is the thing that will defeat America. The undermining of the sense of we are one nation under God, indivisible. So we're here in this room, different colors, different races, different genders, things that we can't see, what are the differences between us, but they exist. To say to one another that we are, as we pledge allegiance to the flag, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and all that that connotes, and justice and all that that means for all. The famous statement that they came for the Jews, and I was not a Jew, and I did nothing. They came for the homosexuals, as they would call them, and I was not a homosexual. I did nothing. They came for the Catholics, and I was not a Catholic. They came for me, and there was nobody left to help me. We need to be concerned for our country, because our country has been a beacon for peoples all over the world to repair to a country where they saw opportunity and justice. And we need to make sure, all of us have a personal responsibility. I give a personal responsibility speech. It's a very short speech. I'll give it to you. If it is to be, it is up to me, each of us, to ensure that our country promise, as Martin Luther King said, is also our reality. Andre, Ilhan, Rashida, thank you for convening us here. Because while it may be your issue today, it may be another issue tomorrow. And if we don't stand together, we will fall apart. God bless all of you.